ball's sent back very quickly, perhaps a little unlucky. Just talking about getting the one that comes back into you when you received exactly that delivery and inside edged it onto his stumps. This Fletcher bowls and a nice leave. End of the over, 33 for 4.
Forest when they've been at home.
Next ball is dropped on the leg side. Well, again, the ground bathed in sunshine, and Fletcher is Fletcher. In again, defended. Matty Ward in again, nicely defended. Back to, still looking to get off the mark. Fletcher bowls to him. As Fletcher bowls and Barnard.
Lunchtime, all the way through this game, and even though we're now Jack Haynes with a little flick of his wrist that it bounced maybe just a little bit more than he expected.
I wouldn't stay in the game 5 minutes because I'd get so many demerit marks. And
from Stuart Broad this morning, turned around the morning session, wicket in the
mid-off, which means his normal fielding position.
3 slips, backward point, extra cover, mid-off, mid-on, mid-wicket, long leg. As 4 trailing by 66.
Yeah, Broad there or thereabouts. In fact, forget everything I just said a moment ago. He's come in off his long run at what's unfolding here, and that's nicely played by Barnard into the offside.
From the Radcliffe Road end, bowls full of length to Barnard, who's very watchfully forward. No, Broad in, bowls, Barnard forward, pushes back to the bowler, and Broad is into him now, bowls and beats him, and that's just beautiful. Yeah. Just Broad in again, bowls, and he lets that one go. Barnard taken by Moores. Comes in and bowls to Barnard, who gets a run down to third man, just steering this off the face. Gets 2 in fact, because Hamid has quite a long run round from a wide. It's Broad into the Radcliffe Road end. Barnard drops this down. It's Broad into Barnard, who fishes at that one outside the off stump. And good stuff, well done, Dave.
yeah,
Broad in. Comes in again to bowl to Barnard, and he plays this nicely. Just drops it out on the offside. Very much in control of that one. Takes a single. Hereford Worcester FM update. Here is Broad. He's in. He bowls, and Barnard is very solidly forward play.
Where Worcestershire now
is. Oh, Patterson bowls to Barnard, who just nibbles at that.
Don't you?
Patterson is in. Bowls down the leg side. Barnard flicks at that. Misses it. Nicely taken by Tom Moores. Made that. Patterson in. Bowls to Barnard, who plays nicely off the back foot, square on the offside for a single, which takes him on to 9, and the total to 57 for 4.
Patterson White's bowling, so Duckett is at extra cover and Clark is at mid-off. Liam Patterson White bowls, first ball, hits him on the pad and brings a very confident LBW shout. Here comes the spinner, round the wicket again, tosses it up, and this is pushed into the offside, into space, nicely played by Barnard. Long run for Asiba Mead, and they will settle for a couple of runs.
I'm not so sure.
Here's Patterson White into him again, and this is hit crisply to mid-off. It was in the air for a brief moment, but that was all. The first 2 matches, he bowls here, and this time it's defence. It's in again, bowls, and once more the sweep, and this time to good effect. Barnard gets it away out of the middle and gets a boundary away on the leg side. Comes in. Again, this time it'll be cut away on the offside. Out to Asiba Mead.
Patterson to continue from the pavilion end, bowls outside the off stump to Patterson in bright sunshine, bowls and beats Barnard with an absolute beauty. That out of his crease, and that one is the other one, but he gets. Patterson is in, bowls, Barnard gets a run this time. Late movement, but he just tickles it behind square on the leg side, and Hasib Hamid comes in from.
In again. Barnard on 17. He's gone for the sweep down the leg side. He's missed it. Moores has missed it. And I think we're going to have a couple of byes here. In fact, they might even round the wicket to Barnard. Wherever you are this Friday afternoon UK time, as this is steered into the offside. And I see.
Very important. Here is James from the pavilion end. Bowls to as well. He's in past him by Hartley. Bowls to Barnard, who gets a run in bright sunshine. Bowls to Barnard. Here's James again. Bowls, and this time Barnard does play at it. And
in once more, nicely. Fletcher bowls, driven back past him.
Good shot down the ground that by Ed Barnard. First real half volley Fletcher's bowl.
As Fletcher in again.
James, and he bowls and outside the off.
Barnard on strike. James bowls and hit 98 for 3. Next ball is fairly. As Lyndon James bowls again, works up. Like Stuart Broad went to Oakham School. He's held this down the leg side and on its way it goes for 4.
Lyndon James. James is in, bowls, and Barnard nervously as James is in, bowls. Lovely shot by Ed Barnard, slightly uppish but safe in the air on the leg side. Hamid colour since the start. James bowls short to Barnard, well directed bouncer. Barnard swivel, bowls to Barnard who drives, beautiful shot.
Fast bowlers as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Barnard drives again. This
about 9 or 10 no balls in the match. This is balls straight in and bowls nice and full. Good looking shot, work for Mullaney to do. And he'll just drag it back just front of the road. He comes again, bowls and the crisp drive up to in, bowls short, ball pulled away, hammered away onto the leg side, and that's a good bit of work out there on the rope by Ben Slater. It's a good.
James comes in from the pavilion end and bowls to Barnard who drives straight down the ground, beautiful shot. And then James comes in and bowls and leaves mind games going on as James comes in and bowls a bouncer between the crowd as he comes in and bowls down the leg side to Barnard who goes.
Trying to break this partnership. Fletcher bowled. Worcestershire still trailing, another shot. Nottinghamshire supporters are Broad in, bowls another bounce behind, and he comes Broad, and this one over his shoulder. Is it slip? I think they've all had it. Broad is in, nicely played by Barnard. Here comes Broad in again, nicely played again. The 38th over of the innings is in again, edge for 4. Crikey. In fact, it's not. Dane Patterson has pulled off a marvellous stop down here. Just couldn't believe that he's got round and got on to 34, 104 for 5. This is wasted. It's a little bit of body theory, I would imagine. Oh, full work to run out Slater as Broad comes in. Surprising, almost behind Joe Clark. This one is pushed out onto. Will it be pitched up? It is short. It's hit away. Cries of catch, but Stephen Mullaney then turns and runs out towards the Larwood aim. Next one is again short, and it bursts through the gloves of Moores, but Broad again. To Barnard down the leg side, taken by Moore, by Hartley at the pavilion end. Stuart Broad past his left shoulder, bowls a lovely delivery, just shapes away past Worcestershire with an overall lead of 3 in the. Clark has just dropped back in that deep strip. Here he comes round the wicket again. Well, might have done fairly easily. Broad bowls another bouncer, which or the length bowls another bouncer over. Almost overdoing it, just
again into Barnard, bowls full, flourish of a shot. That's a lovely driven shot out through extra cover, beats the initial man close in, and therefore it's going to be 4 all the way up. 42 not out, punched to
White comes in too, very short approach, pushes this one through actually a little bit quicker, and Barnard bowls, pushes this one through as Patterson White comes in again and bowls, and Barnard pushes out on
James in. And Cox again fends that one off, really. It was a sharper ball.
Patterson White begins a new over from the pavilion end, bowls to Barnard who drives and gets a single.
Facing him now, he comes in and bowls at 45 though, and driven straight to Patterson White. Barnard on 45 and he leaves that. 45 to Barnard and
yesterday.
Next ball bowled, full defensive, and 45. Next ball bowled, and again full in length on 45, and full from Patterson bowls full, and he does make the run on 45, and that was that 5 not out. Patterson in full lead here. It's only 14 runs and 45 for Barnard, and pushed back up
to better that. There's Liam Patterson White round the wicket bowling through his overs, so we're 60 seconds away from the break as this is date for Radio Nottingham in half a second. This is your blood, unlikely. Next one, he gets a good strike. Yes, they'll have a little bit of work to do if they're going to win that one. Jack Haynes, he couldn't resist having a go at a short delivery from Stuart Broad.
Bowles to... Here's Patterson in again to him. Bowles, and Barnard is forward, pushing Patterson again, and Bowles, and Barnard is solidly forward for the seamers. As Patterson comes in and bowls, and Barnard pushes this up to mid-off and takes a good run.
Sweepers out on either side, plenty saving the one as this is pushed into the offside, and they will get a single. Barnard goes to 47. To bowl to Ed Barnard, drives in the offside, straight to Liam Patterson-White. He comes in past umpire Bainton, bowls, straight drive is once more. Right arm over the wicket, bowls. Patterson once more. Short, pulled away, cries of catch it, but it's looped over Hamid at mid-wicket. Will be cut off out there in the deep by Ben Slater. So, well, we've just started after tea. Worcestershire in their second innings, 100. Figures are 1 for 22. This one just angling down the leg side and deflected down to Fletcher, and that is Barnard's 50. And a generous round of applause from obviously a predominantly home crowd. Catcher is Mulaney, the skipper. And Barnard plays it to backward point. They take the single of ABBA over the last few minutes as Dane Patterson bowls to Ed Barnard, who helps this down to long leg for a single. 57th over. Next ball is pushed. Barnard's on 52 and he runs this away. Square of the wicket. In fact, Ben Duckett will come round from second slip to pick.
White in. Bowls to Barnard, defends this out as Patterson bowls to Barnard, who goes back nicely, steers this off the back foot square on the offside, picks
in front of you. This one's driven through the offside for 4 and nothing was going to irritate Ed Barnard there. Here is Patterson bowls. This one's Ed Barnard works it away, whips it away off his thigh pad for a
comes into him and bowls, and he drives nicely up to long off, mid-wicket. In comes Patterson-White again. Barnard drops this down on the offside, and there's a good run.
There's the sole slipper now. We've had. He's in and bowls. Oh, and he's almost cut him in two. That one.
They're just beginning to hope again.
Bowls to Barnard. Passed umpire Bainton. Bowls. Nice. Push into the vacant space on the offside. Switch officer.
Here's Liam Patterson-White round the wicket, bowls to for Barnard, and he drives this one straight. In comes Patterson-White again, quicker ball, pushed, moves in again and bowls, and Barnard drives very nicely. Patterson-White again, he's in, he bowls, quicker ball again, and he gets a run this time as he goes on the back foot, just eases it away.
Up here, once the ball had gone out of shape, now been changed, so we're going once again. This morning, a bright car was being serviced or MOT'd or some sort of good excuse to come to cupboard or wardrobe or box or home for them as a run is taken here on the offside, and they're going to come back for 2. And comes the throw from deep.
No.
This is round the wicket, and this one's pushed into the offside, and there's no run. This is because Peter had such a
magazines, so
158 for 5 as this is pushed into. Next ball is pushed behind 9 for 5. So Worcestershire have matched their first innings score, and they've now gone past it with their 106 award, 161 for 5, and it's defence. Of course, we always love to speak to you, Steve, about what you're up to. 161.
Patterson-White in again, bowls to Barnard, who is forward. Through which Patterson-White comes and bowls a quicker, flatter, shorter delivery, which is slapped away off the back foot by Barnard.
Barnard on 69, 163 for 5, and lovely looking drive out into the offside. It's going to be touch and go. No, it's going to be cut off. Good work there by Lyndon James in the deep, and there's 2 more runs. On a sponsors day, I don't think they as Fletcher bowls again, and it's Fletcher in again, bowls again, nicely played, square of the wicket, no risk cricket. Final ball of the over. It is down the leg side, and this one is clipped away much finer for 4. 2 really excellent deliveries, been a little unlucky. And Lyndon James trying to break this partnership, but can't because Ed Barnard helps this out onto again with Broad. Another short pick. There's Broad. Bowls in again. Bowls, good delivery. 15th over. Bowls again, clipped away onto the leg side for a single. Lyndon James bowls this down the leg side. Well, you can bowl at this sort of pace. There's James again. Passed umpire Bainton, bowls, and this one's a scruffy inside edge, and Ed Barnard running down this end. Is he limping? Oh, is
coming in. Will it be short or will it be pitched up? It's pitched up. So bowls to Barnard, short down the leg side, racing in. He bowls. This one is pitched up and nicely played by Barnard. Going to get 4 runs for that actually. Played it well, steered it deliberately with soft hands down to third man. Tail up in, bowls. Good delivery on off stump, but Barnard in behind it, steers it down to third man, picks up another single.
Let's see, Barnard facing now on 84, a little bit of width, and he drives that expansively, but it's just going to be a single out there on the shorter side boundary.
And James comes in to bowl the first ball of a new over to Ed Barnard, who pushes out on the offside for a single. They've always got to hurry, but they've got in. James bowls. Beautiful cover drive from Ed Barnard. Takes only
just to have a go. Here he comes from the pavilion end. Bowls pulled away. Cries of catch. It's nowhere near. Seba Mead out on the leg side.
Coming in and bowling and driven. And it's beaten the man at short extra cover. Raced past him. I think got his hands to it. He may have taken, if he did take something off that, still gone a long way. But anyway, they'll go through for runs here. 91. Next ball bowled, and but it's James looking to get him out now. Wraps him on the pads. He'll go off for a little bit of a nod, and it's James doing the bowling. Full pushed offside.
There's Patterson. Another drive into the offside again. Cries of catch, which indicates it was slightly uppish, but Barnard's on 92. Indeed.
Them now pulling to Barnard, and Barnard. This shout. Barnard on 92. And he gets good bat on that, and it's behind square on the offside, and it races and rolls away over the boundary rope. It's 4 runs.
Lyndon James into Barnard, who drives, and well, it might have been it. Waits now as Lyndon James comes in and bowls to him, and he pushes this out on the offside for to Barnard, who's on 97. Anyway, Patterson in with the old ball at the moment, bowls to Barnard on the back foot, drives on the offside sweetly, nicely, but straight out to. And bowls to Barnard short, and Barnard runs this down to third man. He's taken 1. Will he come back for 2? He will come back for 2 against the arm of Hasib Hamid, and that's a brilliant 100 for Ed Barnard. Removes his helmet. Standing ovation from his teammates on the pavilion balcony. Good applause from the Notts faithful as well. A hug from Ben Cox. A brilliant 100 from Ed Barnard. Highest score of the game by some considerable distance. 279 minutes, 193 balls and 10 fours. His third first class 100 on 9 for 5 as Fletcher is in and bowls to him again. He lets that go. Excellent batting all-rounder as Fletcher bowls again outside. Fletcher again is in, bowls, that one nips back really well. Fletcher in again, bowls to Barnard down the leg side, taken on the pad, that runs away down to fine leg. I think he might have got a bit of bat on it, we'll see in a minute. Again, bowls to Barnard, who's beaten by one that keeps a little bit low. And
Broad again. Bowls, good delivery this time. Out as Broad comes in from the pavilion end. That's 1 to tick off, well won. And got through to the stumps of pride at having reached 100 and having done it. Look to get set as Fletcher comes in. First ball is 225 for 5. Fletcher bowls, and this is deflected down to long leg. In fact, it'll go for 4 as well. As this time Fletcher pushes into the offside, and just for a moment there was a here with Worcestershire carrying on from their overnight
pavilion end. He bowls to Barnard as he comes in and bowls to Barnard. Good delivery outside. Broad again in, bowling to Barnard, who's in behind waiting. He bowls to Barnard, short one. Barnard's first over of the day. He bowls, and that's a good delivery, and it turned Barnard around a little bit, and he ended up getting a thickish outside edge.
7. Bowls a really good delivery. That is Fletcher. Fletcher bowls again. Once more, Marshall and Sue drink water as Fletcher bowls again, and comes in past umpire Bainton. Bowls nice and full, and again foot 6 of pure Nottingham beef. Bowls a really magnificent. A missed chance if one had been edged through there. Bowls an absolute jaffer of a. Luke Fletcher is in again. This one's hit to mid-on. Worcestershire probably haven't got enough yet. This one wide. 235 for 5. This is pushed into the offside of the mark as Fletcher was bowled nicely this morning. Bowls a ball of fullish length, absolutely in the right spot as Fletcher bowls again. A gently played push into the offside.
and bowling to Barnard. Good leave as Broad comes in and bowls, and that's runs for Barnard through mid-wicket. Gets one, he'll come back for two as Mullaney comes round from mid-on to do the fielding. In again and bowls to Barnard, and he's repeated the shot of the previous delivery. This time got it a little bit further out into the deep, and as Mullaney pursues it down to the boundary, they come back for three. Barnard, even more responsibility on his
14 first-class matches, 242 for 7, and Ed Barnard here. Everybody sort of thought I was making it up as Fletcher. And it's Luke Fletcher bowling to Barnard, and he's nicked this. Fletcher passed umpire Bainton, bowls a ball of fullish length which is driven 7 for 7. Fletcher to Barnard, and this one is run would have Fletcher bowls, driven away through the offside, threaded a gap between a couple of fielders there, and that will I think hit the rope before Stuart Broad can get there. It will indeed. So requested I bring cricket bats. Bonus points for bowling in high heels. Photos, Helen, please. Photos. And comes Fletcher to bowl to Ed Barnard again on the hips. That I think that was a delivery Luke would like from the surface.
He's bowling to Barnard. Barnard almost chops on, very nearly chops on, then has to use his boot. I don't think I should have got his boot to it. Bowls now. This time it flies high down the. More of that here right now. Comes across his stumps. Oh, and it's. Change of ball, next delivery, and again he plays and misses it to Ed Barnard. Oh, and he does leave that, but again he's on 120, and and again looks to play. Next ball down the leg side, just clipped away. It's going to race down to the boundary rope, and up and over it goes here. And that's going to be signalled as a 4. And he comes in and bowls, and that's pushed into the offside. And Barnard's on 124. Bowls now, and that's edged on a drive, but it's gone down to third.
Move on to 267 for 7 in their second innings. That's an overall lead. Josh Baker for just a single, but Worcestershire's saviour at the moment was audio only. This one very, very confident LBW shout, given not out. That could be ball in his hand. This one's clipped down the ground. Luke Fletcher will field. Single for Barnard.
And it's Dane Patterson bowling from the pavilion end down. Patterson is in, bowls. Barnard works this one down to third man for a single.
Barnard's on 127. Can he get to his? Oof, was a delivery 19th over, and that time more defensive, but some wide coming around the wicket to Ed Barnard. Barnard with a little bit of a flourish. Nice little shot that out through the offside. I'll think of certainly the one.
Patterson from the pavilion end bowls, and Barnard gets a single. They're happy to let him have it. They'd rather bowl at Finch of the championship. There's Patterson in bowls, and Barnard looking to turn this on the leg side. It's taken on the thigh, and they go through for another leg by.
On their radios, doesn't it?
I think that's absolutely right.
Barnard on 129, leans back from the spin of Patterson White, carves the ball square on the offside, runs hard 1, comes back 2. Patterson White bowls again, and a little bit fuller, quicker, somehow fended off by Barnard. It's going to run over the boundary rope. That's going to be 4 runs. Right again. Bowls down on one knee, lifted high. It's a shorter boundary, but that's cleared for 6. That's what I mean about being positive. Down on one knee, as I say, it is very much the shorter boundary, but it's easily cleared the rope and into the stand. And Barnard moves to 141. Worcestershire to 293 for 7. And play continues here. Next delivery bowled, and nice use of the wrist just to drive the ball away there on the onside by Barnard for a single.
8 in the first innings and 1 in this. Comes in and bowls short to Barnard, who pulls that away on the leg side, but he only gets a single.
4 runs behind Northants. Mullaney bowls to Barnard and just worked away to see what happens. Next delivery down the leg side, and not cleanly taken. The team was fancied for the title. Mullaney, meantime, in bowls, and that's nicely played by Barnard behind square on the onside for a single.
Thanks to Frank and Kevin as Broad comes in, then round the wicket to begin with Broad. Bowls again, nicely played by Ed Barnard. This shoulder or prevent the back. Well, you can see principally. This one's clipped away and it's hit Hamid at short leg in the chest, and rebounds to safety. I think in the chest, the short leg. Next one, oh, he's down on the. I hope that brings another one with it. Nicely played by Ed Barnard. To Ed Barnard, right arm medium pacer Stephen Mullaney. Chris Reed retired at the end of 2017. Comes Mulaney and bowls. And, this is down the leg side and helped on its way, and it's gone for 4. Nottingham out this 8th wicket, but like the others, been frustrated by Barnard, who's hit it away here, and he's going to get a couple of runs to go through for the first time in his career to 150. This is a magnificent innings from Ed Barnard. Worcestershire 304 for 7. So there's the applause from around Trent Bridge, and here in the commentary box as well. As that means a lot to Ed Barnard, means a lot to you as well, Frank.
It does. It was a brilliant. It's been a brilliant innings. He gets a hug from Adam Finch. It's, as much as anything else, the way that he's sort of single-handedly shouldered the responsibility. Barnard, who kept the strike, and he ducks underneath a short one. He's still there waiting. Broad is in. Bangs that in short, drops it down. Stuart Broad and bowls, and Barnard works this away off his pad. Here's Barnard in, bowls to and 1 behind square, and he bangs this into Barnard. He's seen this sort of delivery from Barnard, who comes in and bowls short. And he's
Lyndon James bowls. This one forced into the offside. There's James. Bowls again down the leg side, and Barnard was looking to hit it out of the ground. Kitchen sinker. James bowls.
That's that one. And the wicket from the pavilion, and bowl short to Barnard, and he plays that really nicely, just flicking it down to fine leg where it's fielded.
Yep. As James out. 321 for 8. Liam Patterson-White bowls and hit away and stopped, and they don't take a run. Decent field. Next ball, Patterson-White bowls. This one's pushed down the ground, and this time they do take a single. His own particular choice to begin the session, and first ball down the leg side, tickled away by Barnard for 4. And from BBC Hereford and Worcester as Mulaney comes in, and this is played on the leg side. There comes Mulaney again. Nice looking drive. 326 for 8. Mulaney bowls, and again clipped to mid on. Well, this afternoon Mulaney again bowls, and 19. Mulaney in bowls, and Barnard not looking for a single from
with the locals. He's in now and he bowls, and Barnard turning this, moves in once more and bowls to him, and oh, that's exactly what I suggest. He's going to change it. Anyway, here's Fletcher, bowls to Barnard, nicely clipped away on the leg side. Lyndon
2 on the offside as he bowls to Edley Morris. There's Patterson-White, attempted slog sweep for Dane Patterson in the match as well. This one's tickled down to long leg. They will only get a single. Patterson it is doing
not faithful. He's in now and he bowls, and that's down the leg side, not his in again. Bowls to Barnard, who's forward to him. Bowls, and he's beaten outside the off stump. Fletcher again, he's in, bowls. Barnard is forward, pushes out on the offside, gets a single as Patterson-White runs round. Last ball of the over, bowls to Barnard. He was looking for a
Patterson-White bowls. Barnard steaming in. Patterson-White bowls, driven into the offside, fielded by Duckett, but replacing Patterson-White. He bowls, and Ed Barnard's taken a single first ball, just happy to help it down to long leg. Next ball is short, and now bowling to Barnard on 161. Deserves to keep his innings intact. A little push and run here, and they get home. Liam Patterson-White unable.
Patterson bowls to Barnard, who pulls a short one away down to fine leg. Takes one, runs it quickly, hoping that the man stood there. Nothing's come his way, and he's taken a good catch. Really, really rapturous applause from all round the ground, including the Notts fans, for Ed Barnard, unbeaten on 163. His career best, and one of the best innings I've seen from a Worcestershire player for a long, long time.